Hello and how are you? Hey friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you from right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, you know what? Today is November 25th, 2017, V-blog number 2280. Now that means I've been doing this for 6 years and 28 days. That's a lot of time, and no, I don't care whose book you're talking about. Anyway, what I've been thinking about most lately is the fact that I've been getting monotonous. I tell you the same things as are going on each and every day because, well, that's what's going on in my neighborhood each and every day. I try to keep the thing up and different a little bit. I find out that I've been singing the same songs over and over, which, you know, if you sing the same songs over and over, it's going to get monotonous pretty soon for every individual involved. So, what do? I sit and I tell a story to you. What story am I going to tell? Well, I'm not quite exactly sure. I guess I could tell you about the time I was playing in a barn. The Bull Sisters barn, that is. Let me give you the preface. Early in the morning, I went hunting one day. And I decided, well, I was using a 410 gauge Whitaker's Special shotgun made in St. Louis, Missouri, sold by Sears, I believe. But my dad, or my great-grandfather, or my grandfather purchased that gun. And anyway, my dad, he got it from his dad, and my dad gave it to me. And now I believe my son has it, or my dad's got it back. One or the other. Anyway, no, I'm sure my dad's got it back. Anyway, it's a 410 gauge shotgun. Uses 2.5-inch shells, which is more or less a problem because you can't get 3-inch shells. I mean, you can't get 2.5-inch shells anymore. But anyway, it had a choke in it. Looked like a shotgun shell slug had gotten caught in the barrel or something. It was the choke. So that's how it was modified. Anyway, it was a very tight pattern shotgun, sorry. And I used to use it all the time and frequently. I'd go rabbit hunting or squirrel hunting or dove hunting or whatever, each depending on what it was that was available to me. So anyway, I had started out that morning going rabbit hunting, and then later on during the day after I got home rabbit hunting, I apparently didn't get anything. Put away the gun, cleaned it, put it away. Never put away a dirty gun. It's just all there is to it. You just don't do it. Anyway, I put away the gun, and then the neighborhood kids, me and the next door neighbors, decided we were going to go down through the woods, cut through the woods, of course, so that we didn't get in trouble, and head towards the barn, which was the Bull Sisters barn. And now this barn was built in 1858 or something like that. It was an old barn. So, 1892, Columbus sailed the blue. So it couldn't have been 1892. Couldn't have been 1898. Well, I guess it could have. Progress in the United States was quite quick. Anyway, it was built in the 1800s. But it was a good solid barn. But anyway, I was playing in that barn, and, well, we were playing hide and seek. And I come running between one barn stall and the next barn stall, which is, stalls are where you keep cattle, by the way. Keep a cow or so in this pen, or in this stall, and then you keep one in this other stall. Anyway, I come running between one one stall and the other stall, and I had jumped over one of the rails that had fallen down at an angle. And whenever I jumped a little too hard, and well, I dinked the top of my head. Now, if I was holding my head down like so, well, it ain't gonna show today. Well, naturally, because I'm talking about it. If I hold my head down, generally speaking, there is a horseshoe. It's a U-shaped scar on top of my head where I had popped it open, and folded it back like I was going to be scalped by a Native American. Wouldn't want to call you an Indian because then I'd get in trouble. So I was going to be scalped by a Native American or a Frenchman. They did that too, you know. Anyway, so I decided that I should probably head home. So we cut back through the woods, and by the time we got to my house, we had made up a story that we were playing down in the woods, swinging on vines. Now, of course, we had several vines down in the woods where we did swing on them, and you could swing from the ground all the way up into a tree. Well, I claimed that the vine slipped and that I came down and cracked my head on the tree instead of in the barn because, well, naturally, I was in a barn that I wasn't supposed to be playing in. And then my neighbor down the street called me the next day and was getting, as soon as I got home, I had my hand on top of my head, and the two kids that I was with had ran up further and got to my house and told my mom and dad that I had busted my head open, and, well, I was holding my hand on top of my head, and all I could see was blood, and blurred blood at that. And my mom comes flying out the back door and off the porch, and she come running down to the woods, and she was panicked because, well, she thought I'd blown my head off with the shotgun, which it wasn't the case, but it looked like it could have been the case. I'd been out earlier in the day with the shotgun anyway. But anyway, they got me into the house, and they put me in the shower, and they started rinsing my head. And of course, you know, you add a little bit of water to you add a lot of water to a little bit of blood, and it looks like a whole lot of blood. Well, that wasn't the case. I wasn't bleeding profusely that much, but when that water hit my head, it burnt all right. So I ended up going to the hospital, and they put in 42 stitches inside and 36 stitches outside just to hold my head back together. So anyway, I had to wear a turban for about 6 weeks, 3 to 6 weeks, till the scar healed. So I looked pretty goofy at school for 3 to 6 weeks. Pretty much of a bummer, if you ask me. But anyway, the kid down the street had found out somehow, and the cat came out of the bag. When it was about a week later, you know, I kept a good story front up for a good 6 to 7 days, and then all of a sudden he got the truth out there, and, well, I got in trouble, sure enough. But that's the way it happens some of these days. Alan Adams was with me, him and his brother Rick. That's what had occurred. Anyway, you know what? I probably ought to see about song and a sing. Maybe I'll song and sing. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll sing a song, sing out loud, I'll sing out strong. I won't worry if it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. I'll sing I'll sing a song. Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-ba-da-ba. I said ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-ba-da-bum. Oh, sing a song. Alright. Well, made mention of Alan Adams, so I'll be sending this over to you. Hey, Alan. Anyway, the reason I told that story was so that my kids would have a rendering of one of my old school family stories, so they'll remember in history why their dad was such a nut. Got the sense knocked out of him in a barn. Playing where he shouldn't have been playing. That's what he was doing. All kids go through it, and well, I had my turn. And little mama, when your baby grows, when your baby gets old enough, and he's out there, Oliver is out there, and he's playing in a barn, and he gets hurt, and he says, well, Grandpa did it. You can't get mad at him. I'm sorry. Because, well, I did do it. Won't be the same barn. That barn's gone. Been gone for a while. But I don't know. I doubt that you'd be living on a barn, on a farm area, or anywhere close to where you can get to farm access. So he won't be able to get to a barn. I don't know, though. That garage back of y'all's house, I didn't get a chance to get inside there, but that could look like a barn inside for all I know. Anyway, think I'm going to sing a song. Give me just a second here. I'm going to sing a song. Oh, I guess I got to turn that on too. Alright, now I'm going to sing a song.